Hi, my name is Mary Catherine Huss. I go by Miss Huss. I teach 7th grade math at Holmes Middle School in Eden, North Carolina. I've been a teacher there for 10 years, and I'm so good at the subject that I can't get out of it. So I'm still learning my math and teaching my math, and I love what I do and where I am. I've been in education for 10 years because even in high school and college, I was somebody who could explain math and help my peers, and it just became something very natural to me to help explain and help people understand. And I wanted to go into a career where I could explain and help students. And I make it a big point to try to make math easy to understand for my students. And if I could have any other job in the world, let's just dream big or go home. Let's join NASA. Let's go explore space. Let's go do something really out there. Here at home, I live on a farm, and we raise our own vegetables, and we raise trees, and we have a dog and a cat, and everything's very homegrown. So if I had to dream big and say anything else, I would say space exploration. Just go out there. How are kids different than they were 30 years ago? Well, 30 years ago, I was a kid myself. So I was 19 years old and barely out of high school and just starting college and excited about life in general. And what would be most different between kids from then and now, I would say internet and just access to all the information and everything out there. It's a double-edged sword, and it's difficult for our kids to navigate. So teaching for how have things changed in 10 years? Well, when I was in school, we sat in rows and we had a textbook, and it was no big deal for the teacher to come in and say, read these pages and answer these questions. And we don't have that now. We don't have books in school. So now we have all these resources for teaching on the internet. And again, it's that double-edged sword because we're trying to limit screen time, and at the same time, I don't have a textbook. I have to go use those wonderful resources on the web. So a lot of teaching now, instead of what am I trying to get my kids to learn, it's how am I going to get my kids to learn and make it really meaningful and impactful for those students. Becoming a teacher, if I were speaking to somebody about thinking about becoming a teacher, and I have a daughter who's starting college and she's going to be in music education, and she knows this, I've said it many times, it is the most challenging, draining, emotionally roller coastered, rewarding job and career choice that you can ever make. You will impact more lives than you ever dreamed you could impact. But there are days where you will come home and you just have nothing left, and you just have to put your big boots on and go back the next day, and something's going to happen that next day. It's going to turn it all around, and you're going to have another wonderful recharged moment. Change. Well, what would I change to make my teaching much easier? I would get out my Tinkerbell magic wand and I would end poverty. And it is by far the most impactful thing our students have to face. Poverty means they're hungry. It means their basic needs aren't being met. It means they don't have the vocabulary. They haven't traveled. They haven't left our small town since birth. And when I get a 7th grader whose biggest road trip has ever been just to go to the beach, it breaks my heart. We have passports and we travel and we love it. And I think that travel eliminates ignorance and it educates, and poverty just puts such a stop to any of that maturing of brains, and it's a very tragic thing to watch. So if I could change anything, I would wave a magic wand and I would bring everybody up from poverty. I would make it a level playing field. Everyone would come to school with a full belly and a full heart, and having had a good night's sleep and not worried about what's going to happen when they get home at the end of the day. Thank you.